Hey guys, thought I'd just drop on 5 minutes earlier just so we can get the feed going and see who joins. Today's going to be a little bit different, by the way. We're going to be joined by NGgeneration participant, Kealani. Hi. Of course, share this feed with everybody. Click the aeroplane button below and we will be starting soon in 5 minutes time. I just thought I'd drop on a little bit earlier. Oh, Mrs. Grishko is here. Hi. So just give me a moment. I'm just getting organized. So today we have a very special guest. She's part of the NGgeneration and she's called Kealani, and I met her in LA recently when I went to the Atlantic Dance Retail Show, because we did an NGgeneration brunch, which if you missed the pictures from, they're on the NGgeneration Instagram, and it was very cool. It was so fun getting to meet so many of the NGgeneration participants that I'd not met before. Hey, Mr. Grishko. Hey, Sienna. And it was so wonderful to get that opportunity to meet everybody, but also we got to meet Mr. Grishko and Mrs. Grishko, which was super exciting, and we'll speak about that in a moment. So we're going to get up Kealani now, if I can find her. Yep, got her. Right. I know I'm on here a bit earlier, but I just fancied getting the stream going.
Let me switch.
Hello.
What is it? Hi. What was it?
Just let them know that you have to do that, and you have to go for Krishko. She's telling her teacher she's got to go.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that.
I was good.
How cool is this? Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Anna.
Okay.
Alright. Hi.
Hi, everyone that's joined, and welcome to our stream today. We're doing something a little bit different and exciting. Hi, NGgeneration. I've always wanted to do streams with NGgeneration girls, so I'm hoping to make this a regular thing, because it'd be very cool to show you their story and more information about what it's like to be part of the NGgeneration. Hi, Peter. So here's Kealani with her cute little dog as well.
Her name is Shante.
Oh, how cool. So tell us a bit about yourself, first of all. Tell us a little bit, like, how long have you been doing ballet for?
I've been doing ballet since I was 3, and I'm 15 now. And I've been on Pointe for almost 4 years now, and I've always been in my Grishko Nikolays, and I love them so much. They're just
fantastic. So how long have you been part of NGgeneration for?
I've been part of NGgeneration for a couple months now. I don't know exactly how many, but for a while. And
fabulous.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what it's like to be part of the NGgeneration. How has it been for you so far?
It's been really fun, and it's been a really amazing experience. And all of my NGgeneration sisters, they're all so nice, and they're just so amazing, and they're so talented. And I loved getting to meet some of them, or see some again at in LA. And to meet the Mr. Grishko and Miss Grishko.
Yes, so it was so cool to meet Mr. and Mrs. Grishko, right? Because it was my first time to meet them as well, so I was like super excited. So how was it for you when you finally got to meet Mr. and Mrs. Grishko?
Well, I was really nervous, but it was just a really amazing experience, and I'm so lucky I got to do that.
Right? It was so cool. Like, he's such a incredible, not only an incredible businessman, but he is legendary. He's like such an amazing part of the dancewear industry and the dance world. Like everybody knows him, right? And it's so amazing to be a part of such a sensational brand. And I really love the incredible sense of community that we've got with all the NGgeneration, and how, you know, the fabulous pictures that you all make and the videos, it's just so cool. And it really shows the world more about the brand, right? Which is just so good, because like, as you know, as well, wearing like Nikolay Pointe shoes, not only are they beautiful, but they also support the feet in a way that, in my opinion, no other brand has done for me. Tell us a bit about your experience of wearing Nikolay Pointe shoes. How has it been, like, comfort wise? What have you loved about them?
Well, the comfort is just amazing. I personally don't wear toe pads, and in my Grishkos or my Nikolays, I don't have to. I don't have
exactly
to.
Right. That's the beautiful thing, is the fact that because they are such comfortable shoes, you know, there is, I personally, when I fit dancers, I always start minimal, and I always say to them, like, look, just try toe tape and a gel toe sock first of all and see how we go, and then I fit up from there. Like if they need spacers, or if they would like, if I actually put a toe pad on, I use minimal. I do not do anything chunky. And if you're watching, it's very key that when you're getting fitted, to make sure you can feel what you're doing in the shoe, but also you're fitting to your foot. We want to make it not only be comfortable but look beautiful, make sure that you can articulate your feet correctly. Hi everyone that's joining. Oops, it's switched my camera on, sorry. Back again. Everyone that has joined, please share the feed with the button below with the aeroplane, and feel free to ask any questions as well, because I am happy to answer any questions as we go along. We're going to also just ask a few more questions now, and then what we'll do is I'll speak about your ProFlex 3007s. So another good reason why I had Kealani come on this feed is she is obviously a younger dancer, and with younger dancers especially, feet are always changing like an astounding rate. And what we need to be aware of is the fact that, you know, your feet can change so much so that you need to go and get fitted on a regular basis, because so much can change, and not just size and width of the foot. We're also thinking about the muscle, we're thinking about arches, we're thinking about technique, we're thinking about how they break the shoe down, because they're dancers in training and they're still learning. So much can change in such a short space of time. And what I found really interesting about Kealani was when I first met her and looked at the current shoes that she was wearing, I could see a few things I personally wanted to tweak. Of course, every pointe shoe fitter sees something different, but as I mentioned in another stream, it's very crucial to get fitted and try to stay with the same fitter if you can, because it's like going to see your doctor. You kind of learn so much about the dancer's feet, and you get to see their progression. So that is also key. But also what I find with younger dancers is sometimes they don't know when their shoes are dead, or sometimes they don't understand how it's meant to feel just yet, because when you're new to pointe work, it can be very overwhelming. So tell me a little bit about the models of Nikolay Pointe shoes that you've currently worn.
I've tried the 3007, the Dream Pointe, and the Nova.
Cool.
I think that's it, right?
Nova Pro.
Nova Pro.
Oh yes. So have you got, you know, those 3007 ProFlexes there that I said were a little bit too soft for you now? Have you got those there?
Yeah.
Great. Just pop them on for me, and I'll just speak to everyone whilst you're doing that. So Kealani was wearing 3007 in a ProFlex, as well as some other models, as we just mentioned. But I noticed she messaged me initially because she was feeling not much stability in her ankle. And first of all, we thought it was something to do with her elastic. So I went on a video call, which is I'm really glad I did, because what I noticed was her feet have changed, in my opinion, and she's got a lot stronger. And what was happening in her ProFlex shank 3007s was it was not supporting her in the way that I would like her to be supported, but also it was leaving her ankle bone behind and her metatarsals are bending forwards, so she couldn't achieve the correct alignment. Now let me speak about ProFlex shanks, because not many people know much about the detail of them. They come in many different strengths, so you can get everything from soft to hard, if I remember rightly. There's no like super hard in them. Let me just check that, because I'm one of, oh, there is super hard actually. In 3007 you can get soft, medium, hard and super hard. However, let me tell you that they're very flexible shanks. So even in the super hard version of ProFlex, it's still very, very flexible. Now, of course, like anything, always make sure you get fitted and learn about the shanks with your fitter. But in this case, I personally felt that Kealani would benefit more so from going to super soft or soft shank in the 3007 to give her more support, because let me grab you what a ProFlex shank is like. One moment. So I have a Nova Flex here. This is in a medium, and as you can see, it's very, very generous at this portion. Now the roll through is also very soft, which, you know, if someone needs the ProFlex shanks, that's wonderful. They're still a very top selling shoe. ProFlex option also comes in Maya 1 and also comes in, for those of us in Europe, 2007 as well, and in Nova, which is called Nova Flex. And also with the Pro, it means that they're a little bit more softer, in my opinion, in the box, and they have sound absorption in ProFlex as well, by the way. So anyway, with Kealani, what I found was she's got a lot stronger in her ankles and a lot stronger in her feet in general. So what was happening was, by wearing the 3007 ProFlex, it was now breaking very low down, and you're going to see this in a moment. So could you just go to a little bit closer with the camera for me, if you can? Good idea, yeah. And then do parallel. So what we're going to look at here, can you see how her shank is bending very low down? It's breaking too low. When we want the arch, we want the dancer's arch to be molded to the break point of the shoe, and at the moment it's breaking very low down, so her metatarsals are bending forwards a lot, but her ankle bone is being left behind. So what this feels like for the dancer, it often feels like they're not very supported in their ankle, because their ankle is going backwards. So we really want to make sure that the ankle is articulating forwards, so we get that straight line. The straight line we think about in a parallel position is hip bone to knee to ankle to big toe. We want it all straight. At the moment, you can see how her ankle bone is going backwards a little, but we can also see how it's bending too low down on her. So what happens is she doesn't feel as sturdy on point anymore, and believe it or not, this pair wasn't actually worn that long. So another thing you might find if you're in a shank that's too soft for you now is that you might break it too fast, but you're also not going to feel as supported. So if you ever feel that way, contact your fitter to speak about it. So Kealani, tell me, how does it feel in those shoes? Does it feel like a little bit wobbly?
It feels a little wobbly, and it feels like I already broke them in a lot, even though I wore them for 30 minutes in a class and then one time before that.
Oh my gosh. So this is another thing that can happen, guys. If you're in a shank that is too soft for you, it will die so quickly, which we do not want, of course, because we want shoes to last as long as they possibly can. But can you also see the shank has a slight ripple at the break point where it's broken too low? So you can also see actually at the wing, her forefoot is really out and bending, kind of giving the knuckling look, which is really something we do not want. Because what can also happen from this, and what happened to me a few years ago, I was dancing in a pair of dead shoes, which no, I shouldn't have, but my right foot, I literally just stepped on point and I felt a really bad pain in my metatarsal, and I basically did a small fracture in it. So, and believe it or not, fractured metatarsals are one of the most common injuries for ballet dancers. So we really always want to make sure that we're supported in our shoes, and we're not going to get that happen, because I had to take 6 weeks off. So now what we want to think about, could you do me a favor? Could you keep one of these shoes on And on the other foot, I want you to put, have you got those Dream Pointe 2007s there?
Mm-hmm.
Great. We'll put one on the other foot so I can show them the difference in how a shank should support you. And hello to everyone joining. Thanks for coming. Please share the feed with the paper airplane down the bottom. And any questions you guys might have, feel free to let me know. And we will do our best to answer as many as possible. Okay, so now we have on the right foot the Grishko Nikolay Dream Pointe 2007, which gives her a lot more support. And on the on her left foot, we have the ProFlex 3007. What I'd like you to do is take first position facing us, if you can, please. And then step up onto pointing first. So as you can see from first, it's super interesting because on the old shoe, she's kind of sat in it now. Because there's lack of support, her weight is going very downwards. In the other shoe, it's breaking at the high point of her arch where it should be, and she can pull up out of it a lot better. Can you feel a big difference?
I can feel a difference because my left foot, it definitely does feel a lot more supported, but also in the Dream Pointe, I noticed that on the inside, it's a lot softer and it has a lot more padding and it's squishy.
Yes.
So I really like that.
It's nice, isn't it? It's a nice addition.
Especially since I don't wear toe pads and I can really feel it, and you know, it's just a nice addition.
Absolutely. So come back down a second for us. If you could take parallel position with your right hand on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to step up onto point for us in parallel. So as you can see, when I was speaking about earlier about the line of straightness, can you see now her ankle bone can push forwards, and it's now creating that alignment that we're looking for. And you can see the break point of the shoe is higher up where it should be, not breaking too low down. Could you turn around for us in parallel so we can see the other shoe? You've got it, great. And now with the old shoe, we can see how that shank is broken so low down, but also at the wing, she's not very supported and all her weight is downwards and the ankle bone is getting left behind a little bit there. Fab. Come back down for us again. So I just wanted to mention, guys that are watching, and hopefully you're finding this interesting, that you can also wear different shanks for different things. So with regards to that, sometimes, for example, you will have dancers that wear something softer at the bar and then they might change something stronger for center. And depending what role they're dancing, or if they're dancing in a competition or something like that, they might have a different shank for that as well. So you can experiment with shanks. And what is really amazing about Grishko Nikolay products is there's so much variety in strengths, not only of the shank, but also the box. And even in custom, it's just amazing how much we can do with the shoes. So let's just look at my little list here that I've got. So speaking about Nikolay products, what are your other favourite items, like regarding accessories and dancewear?
Well, some of my favorite items are probably these heat retention pants.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. They're my favourite colour ones too.
And then I don't know where it is. It's the I don't know which one, but it's the sweater. I think it's right here. But those are some of my other favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And those are some of my other favorites. And then I think the Academy leotard in pink with the mesh in the back.
Oh yeah, that is gorgeous.
Mm.
And what do you like? Can you feel how nice the fabrics are as well? Right, they're so comfortable. It's amazing.
It is. And
carry on. Sorry.
Sorry. Just something I want to say about these shoes.
Absolutely.
I've always loved my Grishko or Nikolay shoes. They're just amazing. And even when I was dancing at San Francisco Ballet, I was supposed to dance in freeze, but they ultimately decided that my feet looked better in my Grishkos.
Ah, I love it. I love it when that happens, because I've had dancers before that say to me, oh, my teacher only wants us to wear this. And I'm like, just have the fitting. I'll take pictures or a video and I'll send it to your principal if she's not here. And I do. And they're always astounded. They're like, oh my God, like they didn't imagine the Grishkos or Nikolays to look as great. I think the problem also with that is a lot of retailers don't do as many models. So sometimes what happens is some principals of ballet schools kind of get fixated on thinking that there aren't many models or strengths of shoe, right? But there's so many. It's so you do a lot of like photo shoots on Point as well, right?
I do.
Yeah, they're really beautiful. So what's it like doing Point work outdoors? It's a challenge, right? Because it depends on the floor you're on.
It does depend on the floor, but mostly it's on like solid ground, unless I was at the Pas de Deux convention, and there was a lot of like walking around and doing like, we went on a hike for a sunrise shoot, and that was kind of like you had to like climb up on rocks and just to get like the perfect shot. But I think it was really worth it because the photos came out amazing.
Absolutely. How cool. So also tell us, do you have like a favorite dance store in the US that's your personal favorite?
Discount Dance, I think, my favorite.
And why is it your fave? Do you have any reasons for that?
It's really fast, and they have a lot of variety of like all different brands. And I know they added more Nikolay, which I love. And
yeah, which is great news.
And more of my favorite dance brands.
And so also, guys, what is great nowadays is the fact that retailers that are stocking Nikolay is the fact that retailers that do stock Nikolay, we can all get so much variety now, whereas we never used to. Because the problem was there was so much, not as much variety of products before Nikolay came along. So also check out your local retailers, because they also now have, if they're a Nikolay retailer, they have so much more variety. It's incredible. And they will be able to get the stock very fast, which they never used to before, which is great news for everybody that wants to try different models or the dancewear. Also, how much ballet do you do a week at the moment? Do you do, well, obviously in lockdown it's different, but if we're thinking about normal classes, how often do you dance?
Well, now I dance like 40 hours.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you dance?
And I'm doing Skyra Studios classes, and they have 29 classes.
Wow.
So it's really been helping me a lot, and so that's what I've been doing. And that was actually one of the classes I was in before this.
Oh, cool.
And she has the best classes. It's amazing.
That's fab. Do you just do ballet, or do you do other kinds of dance as well?
Ballet, and then contemporary, and then I like doing the stretch classes and the Skyra fit. Those are
fabulous. So with regards to point work, what do you have any kind of favorite things to do on point? For example, some dancers prefer turns, some people prefer adage, some people like to dance repertoire. Do you have any favorite part about point work that you love?
Well, for point work, I really like doing center work, and I love doing the Giselle hops on point.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
One of my favorite things.
That takes so much strength. Wow. Super impressive.
And I like doing at the end of Grandpa Classique, there's that one part at the very end, and I love doing that one. I like a lot of repertoire, I would say.
Fabulous. So with regards to point, have you figured out how quickly your feet can change and how much your technique can change as well? Because even when I started point, it was really scary at first, and I was like thinking, you know, it can get a bit frustrating sometimes you can be like kind of stuck in a kind of zone where you feel like you're not making much progression. And I just want to tell young dancers out there that you need to keep at it. It takes time. Wouldn't you agree with that?
I do agree with that, because especially with my severs and my ankles, I had to realize that it takes a lot of time and to get used to it. And since it's not going to go away until I stop growing, then I have to keep working with it. And when I was at SFB at first, we only did 15 minutes of point. And so, of course, I wasn't seeing like a lot of progression.
Of course.
But once I started like practicing at home and really making that 15 minutes worth it, then I saw a lot more improvement.
Of course. It just takes a lot of repetition and persistence. And you know what I find is, like, even if you have a couple of weeks off, it feels like sometimes you're starting all over again. So whereabouts are you located, by the way? Like what state?
I am in California.
Oh, lovely. I love California so much. It's one of my favorite places. Have you danced at many like summer intensives or in like different states before?
I have. I did the ABT intensive like a while back.
Oh, wow.
And I was 7.
Oh, so that's really cool.
That's when I did it.
Was it a good experience?
It was. And then last year I was supposed to go to Ellison, but I couldn't because of some family reasons. So I ended up going to an intensive that was more close to me. It was more local. And they were amazing. I love that intensive.
A lot of my dancers say that, you know, they get so much from intensives. It's such a great experience. Tell us a little bit more about where you dance when we're not in lockdown. How is that for you? Do you train really hard? What are your teachers like?
I would say yeah. I love my teacher. He has the cutest little pugs.
Oh.
His pugs actually just had some puppies.
Oh, that's so cute. What kind of methods of ballet do you do? Is it just, because obviously there's many different methods like Russian. Do you do exams, or is it like, because I know in America it's so different to like England, because over here so many dancers and dance schools fixate on examinations and like syllabus work. How does it vary for you where you are? What do you do in training?
When I was dancing with San Francisco Ballet, every so many months we would have to do an exam, and I would always get really nervous, but then the results would come back and they would tell you what you need to work on. And then at the end of the year, then you have your big end of the year exam that you have to do that determines if you get cut, you go to the next level, or you stay behind.
Oh yeah, I find I myself have done syllabus work over here, a few different ones. In England, it's really interesting because they've got so many different associations now. It's very crazy. When I go point shoe fitting and I go to schools and I say, oh, you know, what association do you guys do? There's so many that I've not even heard of yet. There's just so many of them. It's mad. But for viewers watching, if you ever curious about doing syllabus work, it doesn't make, like, it's great to do, but it's not like necessary. You know, there's plenty of people that have gone on to have dancing careers that have not done syllabus work before, so don't feel kind of fixated on that, because I noticed that in the UK a lot of people are very obsessed about syllabus, but it doesn't mean it's going to make you any better than anybody else, and it doesn't mean that you're going to learn at a faster pace either. And it also, you know, it's not going to affect what dance college you get into or whatever. So I just wanted to put that out there, really.
Yeah, I know SFB, they don't do syllabus. They every teacher is a different style. So like maybe you'll have a teacher in one level and they're very Vaganova, and then the next level they're more Balanchine or so everything's kind of like, I wouldn't say hodgepodge, but it's cool to see all the different styles.
You know what's interesting is like I never used to have the confidence to do classes abroad, but I travel a lot. So a few years ago I started doing drop-in classes, and it was so fun because I began to realize the different ways of teaching, but also I got to work on things in a different way. So I managed to learn a lot from different teachers. And also what I really like about it is the fact that it gives me the chance to connect with others for social media as well, which is really fun. I've met so many people through classes. It's amazing. And also seeing the different kinds of energies that you get, because some classes are quite serious and others are quite fun. So it's really interesting, especially as an adult dropping in, because I sometimes drop into classes with the younger ones and I learn so much from the younger generation. Oh, anyone who's watching, if you've got a question, pop it in the box. It can be about point shoes, point shoe fitting, Nikolay products, anything to do with us as people, dance, anything, throw it in. It's a spontaneous feed tonight. Do you have anything you'd like to speak about before I go on to more questions?
I don't think so, but
if anything comes to you, let me know.
Okay.
That's what I love about spontaneous feeds, is sometimes something just comes to you randomly and like, oh, this is a really good point. So, oh yeah, I've got a good one. So when you're at home during lockdown, are you keeping up with your foot and ankle strength? Are you doing exercises for that?
I do. So what I do is I take some of my teaspoons, and they're different sizes, and I use these, and that's what I use to roll up my feet. And then I normally do some TheraBand work and releves, and then that just warms up my feet, and then I go like into bar class or into point work, and and then I stretch my feet too. So for point, I like to do this one.
Oh yes,
And like this, and then just to stretch my feet in general. Then I have this. So
cool.
I like to try and keep up as much as I can.
Yeah, it's important, especially when we're in lockdown, you know. So any dancers watching, do as much as you can at home, but don't go crazy. Don't go crazy to the extent you might get hurt. And also, you know, keep up to date with your teacher and what they recommend as well, because every dancer is different at the end of the day, and we all have different things to work on and in safe ways to do it as well. So be sure to be careful, and also be careful on the floor you're dancing on, because I know some of you guys are trying to do not just soft shoe stuff, but point shoe stuff on slippery floors. Please be careful, and please be careful about jumping, because of course it's not sprung floor that we have at home, unless of course you're lucky to have it, right? Then, you know, by all means, but just be so careful. So tell me a little bit more about, oh, I've got one. Have you ever encountered the fake Grishko shoes at all?
I have.
Tell us about it.
Well, I put on the shoes and I didn't realize that they are the fake Grishko.
Of course, a lot of people didn't, which is sad.
Wilson, and so I contacted Miss Christina at NGgeneration, and she said that she gave me like some signs where it's not the real ones. And which is good, because when I put them on, I was like, something is not right here.
Of course.
Because I almost broke my ankle.
Oh my God. So you guys watching that might not know about this, your actual real Grishkos from Russia will be called Nikolay's, under Mr. Grishko's first name. They will still have the made in Russia. Mine have Grishko because I'm in Europe, so we deal with the Grishko logo. But you guys in America will have Nikolay, and you will have made in Russia. And one of the top ways to tell if your shoes aren't real is you will notice that where it says made in Russia, it will say handmade, or it will say something else. it's very key that you have Nikolay and then made in Russia. So important. And like you mentioned, unfortunately, so many dancers aren't aware. So, you know, it's not until they put the shoes on and they think, hang on a minute, something doesn't feel right. I mean, I've had dancers contact me that said, like, you know, they've got blisters from them. They've had shoes snap within a little bit of wear. Like, it's just mad.
Yeah, and you know, it almost put me out of ballet for a really long time. They fell
Oh my
apart.
gosh.
I rolled my ankle and I had to go to the ER. It was a lot, and
Oh my gosh. That's scary. So guys, you know, if you want real Nikolay's made in Russia, what you know, all the technologies, then please, please, please make sure that you buy them from your Nikolay retailers or from Nikolay directly. Please do not buy the fakes. And hopefully we have helped you with learning a little bit about what the fakes will feel like and look like. It's so, so crucial now. You know, I want dancers to be safe in their shoes. So please take that on board. Goodness. I can't believe.
Nikolay is sold here in the USA by Discount Dance, and they ship, so that's good. And you can get like a bunch of different styles, and that you can get apparel, and there's just a lot of, and there's Nikolay certified retailers like in some of your local stores. So you should.
Yeah, it's really crucial.
Yeah.
If you've got like what I would recommend also is trying, if anyone's watching that hasn't tried Nikolay's before, get down to your local retailer as well, so you can try them in person before you order online, because you've got to be kind of adjusted to the fit, because they all fit different as well. So if you aren't sure if you've got a local retailer, what you can do is you can hop on to the Nikolay World website, and there's a retailer locator thing, so you can find your nearest retailer. Because like I mentioned earlier, getting fitted is crucial. Of course, there's times where we can't get to a fitter where I can help you online a little bit. But please, please, please do try to support any of your local Nikolay retailers, because now, thankfully now, we are managing to get real Nikolays out there to more and more places, which is great news.
Yeah, they definitely.
Oh, it's froze. Hang on.
Grishko 3 Triple X, and these are a Nikolay 3 Double X, so they fit a little different. These are 3007s and these are 2007s.
Oh yeah, so for those of you guys in America, you will now have 3007 model, which is built on the same last as 2007. And if you wanted to view the information about how they're different, you can hop onto my YouTube, and I did a whole like 30-minute video showing the comparison of the models, because the new upgrades in 3007 are so much better. Because they're built on the same last, they do generally fit the same, but you know, if you've grown or anything, then please get checked out, because of course feet can change very quickly. Why don't you show us your Dream Pointe 2007s on both feet, so we can show people a little bit about these shoes, because not many people have discovered them yet. And whilst you're getting the other one on, I'll just grab a shoe to speak about it. So for those of you guys who haven't encountered the Dream Pointe 2007 pre-arch, also known as Allure, it features some really cool things. First of all, it's built on the 2007 last. It's padded on the inside and in the tip of the shoe, so it's very plush. It has thermo shanks, which means they mold to your feet by heat. And as you can see, they're very generously pre-arched here. So they create a beautiful line, but also still give great support. And a lovely round platform with good balance, flexible, comfortable pace, high wings, deep U-cut vamp, nice high heel, double upper, so they're so smooth. So let's have a little look at these now. So these haven't been broken in that much, by the way. So if you'd like to take a fifth position, which we've ever foot in front you'd like.
Yeah.
And could you turn a little bit more side on for us so we can see the shape of the shoe? Yeah, that's nice. So these are, go on, carry on, sorry.
Sorry, these are brand new. I haven't brought them in yet.
Uh-huh.
They were just like maybe like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, wow, amazing. So can you feel how they feel like the 2007 shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
And can you feel that with the thermo shanks, they really want to suck into your arch?
Yes, I can feel that, definitely.
And you're really nice aligned in those as well. And that plush lining is very comfortable, right?
It is. It's extremely comfortable. And these are like one of my favorite models of Nikolay just because of the amazing lining. It's just, it gives you like a little bit of a spongy, squishy feel too, as well as like the softness.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous. They look great. Cool. Let's do parallel facing us as well so we can see the shape of the front. And then step apart a tiny bit. Yeah, good. And as you can see with the high wing in these, they really encase the side of the feet really well, and they give good support for, like with high wings, you guys, this can be great for people with bunions also, because it will encase their bunion joint and also give that smoother appearance. And also with one-footed stuff on point, a higher wing shoe can give you a lot more support. Great. And let's just turn out to first position as well. Nice. Go over really well. Nice alignment. Fab. And then come back down again for me. So with that heat retention wear that you've got on, don't you find that it just makes you like warm up so quickly?
Yes, it does. So in the classes that I've taken, I always wear these in the beginning because after like maybe 15 minutes, then I have to like take them off and put on or like a skirt or something because of the sauna effect. So it warms me up really, really fast.
It's crazy, right?
It
was like, I didn't think I wanted a pair at first, and all my customers kept buying them. So I tried someone else's on, and I was like, oh, actually, I think I want a pair. So I got the shorts first, and now I have the all-in-one, and oh my God, I wouldn't be without it. And I love the fact that, you know, it allows good movement, but also it doesn't crinkle like some trash bag pants that I've worn before. It just feels like so comfy, and the fabric is just so plush. So it kind of gives that nice smoothness.
Yes, it does. And my classes are Eastern time and we're Pacific time. So it's really early in the morning. So I wake up faster because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm warm. I'm ready to go. Like, and I was like, oh, Mom, wow, I really like these. And she's like, well, I mean, I'm glad. I figured you would. And I'm like, but the inside, it's so soft.
I know, right? It's crazy. And they come in different colors, you guys, as well. And they come in also the short tard, the full unitard, the shorts, the full length pants. And yeah, I was really impressed with that collection.
And I love the drawstrings and the ankles, so I can wear them different ways.
Yeah, right. Also, I see you're wearing the wool shrug as well from... This was part of, for people who don't know, this was part of a warm-up collection that came out last year. But now we've got a new version of it as well in different colorways, which is amazing. And the materials used are very eco-friendly. It's merino wool, so it's so plush. You can also get the matching everything else for that. Leg warmers, unitard, waist warmer, arm warmers, trousers.
There's so many different styles, and you can find them all online.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we also bring out so many new collections of dancewear, right? Like the leotards, like the Academy collection you mentioned. Oh my God, I absolutely love the styles of Leo's and the fact that it's worn by prestigious ballet academies. Like, I mean, that's incredible. One moment. So if anyone's watching who maybe has a question for either of us, you can pop it below and we'll do our best to answer. Feel free to share this feed as well. And of course, you know, even if you have point shoe fitting related questions, feel free to drop them in because I love to answer them. We'll also be back on Friday, by the way, with Meet the Retailer again. And I hope to do more NGgeneration participation with streams. So if any of you guys have anything you want to see with that, then feel free to let me know. Once lockdown is over, I'm actually going to get some of my own local dancers who wear Grishko Nikolay products and also start collaborating with the NGgeneration in the UK more. So we're going to do like a nice little series for you guys because that'd be fun. Plus I hope to be back in the States soon. And if I am, I will of course collaborate more with you guys in the US. Let's just see who's watching on this bit. 1 minute. Okay. So in terms of also with point work, doesn't it feel amazing that when you put a pair of Nikolays on, they not only look great, but they also give you such a beautiful roll through so you can articulate every part of your foot?
Yes.
Which is really crucial.
It is.
Because you know what? When I started point work myself, I was in shoes that were too hard in the shank and I could not articulate my foot correctly. So when you're rolling through, literally I couldn't get demi point. And the teacher always used to blame it on me, but it wasn't me, it was the shoe. And I get dancers come to me that have struggled for so long with shoes that are too strong and they're not able to get that articulation that is required. So if any of you are watching that are struggling with your shank, often you're in a shank that is too hard for you if you're not able to roll through it. And the importance of working with our shoe rather than against it is we can gain strength, which is much needed. If we continue working in a shoe that is too hard for us, not only can we not get that articulation and gain that strength, it means our technique is not going to work well. Oh, I've got a question. How do I know if I'm ready for point? Great question. And a topic I could speak for hours on, but I'll try to narrow it down. Number one, we want to think about our teachers. What does your teacher say? Your teacher will be a great indicator for this. But, however, I'll tell you, in my experience, I've even had times where someone isn't ready yet, even though the teacher thinks they are. So I have to work with the teacher to explain why they're not ready yet. We need to think about loads of factors. We need to think about how much technique you've got. We need to think about how many ballet classes a week are you doing. We need to think about your alignment of your whole body, not just your feet and ankles. Everything has to work together. We need to think about good core strength. We need to think about strong feet and ankles. We have to also think about toes as well, because believe it or not, people who bend their toes when they point their foot, what are you going to do when you get in a point shoe? Like, I've seen it. And unfortunately, you know, I've even told people, you know, they're not ready yet because their toes are too crunched. Your toes have to be straight. Your toe strength is a big part of point work as well. We need to think about legs and knees, keeping knees straight, pulling up, making sure that the dancer is using all of their body, not just relying on the point shoe. We also need to think about any previous or current injuries that you might have or any health conditions. We need to think about your turnout as well, because if you don't have enough turnout, you're not going to be able to maintain certain positions on point. There are many, many things. And unfortunately, what I sometimes find is some people think it's just about feet and ankles, and it really isn't. You know, there is so much that gets involved with starting point work. So number one, ask your teacher first. I can't stress that enough. That is super crucial. But also work with a really good fitter. Make sure you go to a fitter who has a good reputation and you know you're going to get a great service, because some fitters unfortunately out there like to rush fitting shoes. They don't give you a whole education about it, because it's not just putting the point shoes on and going. There's so much more involved. You need to try the shoes on in different combinations. There's lots that we look for when you're getting your first point shoes. If you're preparing for point, you guys do also exercises and strength work, and also think about working on your alignment and your core. Like you would say, right, as well, that it's so crucial that it's not just feet and ankles. Don't you?
Yes, I would agree with that. And as you were saying about alignment, I know that at San Francisco Ballet, at first, they would just have us work on alignment, and that was, I would say that was important to know, and they would give us exercises in order to do at home. So
Yeah, very crucial.
And when I first got fitted for my shoes, the fitter was actually really good. Like, they made sure that I did a lot of exercises, make sure that I got the right fit. And then I went to try like another style at a different place with a different fitter, and they just, it wasn't the same. They just rushed through it, and I ended up getting the wrong size and the wrong, and it didn't suit my foot as well as it could have. So
very crucial. So I hope that answers your question there. I would also recommend personally wearing demi-point shoes if you can, because they make a world of difference. I did a YouTube video all about them if you don't know what they are. Try to get to a pre-point class as well. I know that not all studios or schools offer them, but if you can find one, it's really going to benefit that. So also, where did you go for your first fitting, by the way?
My first fitting, they did it at San Francisco Ballet.
Oh, cool. And what was it like going on point for the very first time?
It was interesting. It was like just a weird feeling, but it felt good. You know,
I always tell dancers it's like starting ballet all over again, because it feels so different on point, right? It's like different technique to use. So someone's just said, the girl asked a question, or woman, I don't know how old you are, sorry, says that they don't have a teacher, they're self-taught. They watch videos and lives, and that's why they asked. They've not taken dance classes. They've taken dance classes, but not ballet. So I can really, it's very important that if you're going to think about doing point, you need to be taught by a ballet teacher. There is no way that it's okay to do point work at home if you've not had any actual ballet training from a ballet professional. Not only are you likely to hurt yourself, but you're also going to get some bad technique, which is, it's just not worth it. And I know that sometimes we have to travel for ballet class, but it's worth it. Nothing beats being taught actual ballet.
And also, wait, what? Yeah, San Francisco Ballet for us, it was a 2-hour drive. So, I mean, yeah, definitely it is worth it, I would say, to travel for ballet class. And
it's so crucial.
If you try and do point at home, then you can. It's really easy to pick up bad habits.
It is
really
definitely
fast, and it's harder to correct that habit than to form it.
Absolutely.
And also, you could be doing point on carpet, and not like bright flooring like Marley. So
that's another good point, actually. I've seen dancers on Instagram in lockdown that are doing point work on carpet, and don't do it, guys, because what happens is, one, it's hard to balance, but next up, you're going to wear your platform out unevenly. So then it will affect your alignment, because you'll start to sickle, or you're not going to get on your platform correctly. Your shoe is going to wear out very unevenly, which we really don't want. So if you're thinking about doing any point at home, first of all, you need to make sure it's okay with your teacher. And please make sure you're doing it with guidance over a Zoom teaching, a Zoom class, or something where a professional can watch you doing what you're doing. Do not just decide that you're going to throw your point shoes on and start doing things that you've not learned yet. Because I know it's fun to do point, but if you start trying to do stuff on point you haven't done yet, you are going to get bad form, bad technique. You might get hurt. So do what your teacher tells you to do that's suitable for you. So if there's any other questions, drop them below for me, please. And we will wrap this up in a moment. But please feel free to tune in onto this channel regularly, because we'll be doing loads of streams with Meet the Retailer, where you'll be able to meet all the Nikolay retailers in the US. We'll be showing you around their stores. And you'll get to understand how they work and what products they sell. Yeah, so it's 10 to 9 here in England. but after this I've got some more work to do and some more streaming, which is fun. So if anyone is watching still and they want to ask a question, feel free to do it now, because we're going to wrap this up soon. And also follow all of us, click our Instagrams, give us a follow. Also follow NGgeneration, Nikolay World, Grishko World. Follow everything to do with us. We really appreciate it. Just scroll through these, see if I've missed anything.
Oh, someone asked, what's our favorite variation?
Well, do you know what? Unfortunately for me, I've not actually been able to dance any variations because I never got that opportunity. But I really want to do the RAD repertoire syllabus to get a chance to do that. There are some intensives for adults in the UK that give you that opportunity. What's been your favourite to dance?
Ooh, I love Fairy Ball and Swan Hilda, which I have the most beautiful tutus by Matryoshka Tutus, and Miss Pamela, she's amazing, and I just love the variations so much.
And thank you everyone who's enjoyed this stream. I will save it and I will upload it again later on. So for any of you guys who might have missed it or want to rewatch, then you'll have the opportunity. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been fun. And yeah, those of you guys who tuned in, give us all a follow and we will get back to you soon. Do you want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye. Bye guys.